plenty of warning signs that Trump would take this country down the tubes. No, I'm not talking about the portable toilets brought in for the 2017 inauguration of Donald John Trump. You may recall the name of that company that provided the porta potties, Don's John's, was concealed by inaugural officials. And I'm not referring to the time that Trump was caught on camera with what appeared to be a scrap of paper hanging on his shoe. No, I think it was his fixation on government regulations on toilets.
People are flushing toilets 10 times, 15 times, as opposed to once.
Yes, it's all starting to add up. Consider the latest revelation from New York Times reporter Maggie Haberman, who's been plumbing the depths of the Trump years for a new book. She writes that Trump would repeatedly tear up sensitive White House documents and attempt to flush them down the toilet. White House engineers reportedly found wads of printed paper clogging the system. Now, I know what you're thinking. The jokes write themselves. Did they find the Constitution or his long-awaited health care plan jamming up those presidential pipes? It's as if they were frantically searching for Hillary Clinton's emails.
If I deleted one email, like a love note to Melania, it's the electric chair for Trump. She deleted her emails. People go to jail for that. Nobody's ever heard of it. Don't bleach their emails or destroy evidence to keep it from being publicly archived as required under federal law.
Now, Trump is doing a lot of spinning in response to Water Closet Gate, insisting he never flushed White House documents and denying any mishandling of his official records. Perhaps he's worried about all of those chants of lock her up coming back to haunt him.
Their emails, which put America's entire national security at risk. And to think she was here yesterday, I guess she didn't do very well. I'm telling you, that Biden family and others, but that Biden family is corrupt. You should lock them up. Lock up the Bidens. Lock up Hillary. Lock them up.
Trump was so obsessed with document destruction that he suggested House Speaker Nancy Pelosi broke the law when she ripped up the former president's State of the Union address.
I thought it was a terrible thing when she ripped up the speech. First of all, it's an official document. You're not allowed. It's illegal what she did. She broke the law.
No. Pelosi tearing up Trump's speech is perfectly legal. But Trump's handling of official documents is another matter. A source familiar with the situation says the National Archives is now seeking a Justice Department investigation into whether Trump violated the Presidential Records Act, which requires that all records created by presidents be turned over to the archives at the end of their administrations. According to the New York Times, officials at the archives believe Trump may have taken classified material with him when he left the White House. The Washington Post has also reported that some documents marked top secret have turned up at Mar-a-Lago. And on top of that, the January 6th committee says there are gaps in White House phone logs from the Trump administration from the day of the insurrection, even though we know he made some phone calls. Oh, Donnie boy, the pipes are calling. If document preservation hypocrisy were an Olympic sport, Trump would easily take home the gold, which has me thinking about this. Trump and his buddies should consider hosting their own Winter Games. There are some major players to watch.
You know what? Make an appointment in the office and come up all the time, okay? It's not good to do it.
Like Kevin McCarthy speed skating past questions about the RNC labeling January 6th as legitimate political discourse. And then there's the Tanya Harding of the House GOP, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who discovered a fly in her canned talking points after it was too late.
Not only do we have the D.C. jail, which is the D.C. gulag, but now we have Nancy Pelosi's gazpacho police spying on members of Congress, spying on the legislative work that we do, spying on our staff, and spying on American citizens that want to come talk to their representatives.
As some observers noted, first gazpacho police, what's next? Sangria law? Perhaps Ted Cruz could compete. Yes, it's true. Cancun is probably too warm for the Winter Games, unless there's a tequila luge, in which case, count me in. But the far-right Olympic Games would fit right in with its autocratic tendencies. The MAG Olympics could follow the lead set by China with its freestyle skiing competition at a dystopian-looking Beijing industrial park, not to mention its appalling human rights record. It should be noted the Russians are doing quite well in Beijing if you overlook its 15-year-old figure skater who we just learned turned up positive for a banned substance in December ahead of the Olympics. Astounding when you consider the Russians are already competing at the Games as the Russian Olympic Committee, not as Russia, after Russia received a 2-year ban from the World Anti-Doping Agency. No wonder Russia thinks it can get away with bullying Ukraine. It's not even punished for cheating in sports. As for our own cheater-in-chief back here in the U.S., Trump does not seem very worried, as if his punishment is being decided by the Olympic Committee rather than the Justice Department. Perhaps in 2024, Trump could run for the White House under the banner of the TIC, the Trump Insurrection Committee. He could bring home yet another gold toilet. But honestly, this is what happens when you allow somebody like Trump to clog the pipes of American democracy. Now that the GOP has failed to root out the problem, it's up to the American people to flush as many times as possible. Go Team USA.